Welcome back. It's your boy DJ Rick Up and Live, and this is the Up and Live show. This week's special guest we have here is a spoken word artist. He's a dub poet. Something different to the show this week. I'm very excited to have on board with me this evening, Mr. M. Artz. Welcome to the Up and Live show, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, but it's kind of strange where I've never really seen much of a spoken word artist. Can you just explain to us what do you do really?
I'm a poet, but I do my stuff to music, and I'm a spoken word artist. You know, people say, "What's the difference between a spoken word artist or a poet?" But
Yeah,
poetry, I think a poet. Someone broke it down the other day. I thought was quite interesting. Poetry is seen as literature, which is something that is written on right. It's something you can read. Spoken word, you're on stage and you're performing. You know what I mean? Whether it's to music or it's a cappella or whatever.
Okay. So basically, the spoken word is more of the written form, and the poetry is just saying.
No, poetry is more the written form.
Oh, okay.
Literature, it's more seen as literature. I mean, spoken word up on the stage, you're doing your thing. It's the difference. It's different opinions. You know what I mean?
Okay, so it's basically like a freelance.
Right.
Yeah, makes sense. And so, yeah, we just got caught away in me just trying to find out what is spoken word really. And can you just introduce yourself to my viewers watching now?
Yeah, my name's M. Artz, and I'm a spoken word artist.
And where do you base? Are you based here in London?
Yeah, I'm based in London. I originate from Hackney. Yeah.
Hackney. Through your journey as a spoken artist, were you a spoken artist before, or were you a reggae artist or a dancehall artist before?
No. No kind of artist. Just straight into spoken word.
How do you gravitate to spoken word? Because it's growing up for me, that your art form is not one that I would gladly run to. I would more likely go to football, maybe a little cricket. Yeah, Bagwagan is like when the West Indies just win, so you get the West Indies as well. But how do you find yourself gravitating to spoken word?
I feel like I've always wrote. I've been writing for years, yeah. But in terms of rapping, everybody's rapping, right? I appreciate words. I've always loved poetry, especially when it's accompanied by music. You know what I mean? So I've been writing for quite a while. So I thought to myself, I think it was about 2.5, 3 years ago. I said, you know what? Let me try and do something with this. I'm gonna start performing and recording. You know, so.
But I've listened to your music, and I find out where it's you basically have to have some form of intellectual side behind it. For instance, the songs that you sent me, I listened to them, and basically it's more you have to be telling a story. Most is it that way?
Well, no, it's that's my style. I'm a storyteller. I'm a storyteller. You know, poetry is very wide. You know what I mean? It's a broad spectrum, you know. But for me, when I do a piece, it's got to make sense. Not just to me, like the audience have got to understand it. But my particular style of writing is like storytelling. You know what I mean? Okay. So yeah.
So basically, you tell a story with the music. It's more like the dub poetry, because that's what I used to. I'm from Jamaica,
right? And
I'm used to like Muta Baruka going up on stage and doing his dub poets and giving me that raw energy. But your kind of poetry to me, your spoken word, I should say.
Right.
It's kind of the same, but it's different. And how do you sell your craft as an artist? How do you get people to listen to your music? And how do you get into the industry? Because I don't really see it as much.
Right. Well, you just got, for me, I can only talk from my perspective, right? I just started hitting up open mics. Any kind of competition, I was just entering, right? And then I started doing a thing in Shoreditch, a Juno bar, it's called The Vortex. And that's run by, Natalie Stewart, one half of Poetry. Yeah, so she runs it every month. So I started performing it, and she kind of noticed me. And then she reached out to me, and I opened up for Flowetry. You know, they performed their home reunion tour in Brixton. Yeah, so I opened for the show both nights. Yeah, that was a big look for me.
Okay, so who inspired you to be a spoken word artist?
Definitely Flowetry. I've always been a big fan of Flowetry. When I first heard their album many years ago, I thought it was very, very different, and I've never heard anything like that before, and they definitely inspire me.
Okay,
but I'm inspired I'm inspired by all different artists, all different genres of music. I just appreciate music. Period.
Okay, so you take bits and pieces from because I'm listening to the tracks that you sent to me, and I can hear the art form is basically of nowadays, what's happening now. So you fuse that, because I heard one where you're basically speaking about your lady, and it's like it's telling me a lot about you as a person without even knowing you, so to speak. So, listen, was that a true story, or is it just a
No,
fiction?
that's a true story. That's a true story. I was in a wine bar and I saw this beautiful young lady.
Yes.
So I thought to myself, I need to approach her, but I need to approach her in a way where what
Yeah.
I say to her is from my heart and it don't sound like no lyrics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Lyrics, you know them
Right.
ways there.
So 90% of the track is the thoughts I'm having with myself.
Okay.
Right, before I actually approach her. What am I going to say to this woman? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So once I gather up the confidence, I
Yeah.
approach her and say what I say, yeah.
Well, it sounded, because I've got your story. I got your story, because if you listen to the track is basically telling us about, as you said before, lady, and I've saw the picture. So this is where I'm coming from, where I like this kind of art form where I can vision something to what you're saying to me.
Right. And I feel like as an artist, as an audience member or someone who's listening to music, right? For
Yeah.
me personally, this is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
You should be able to close your eyes
Yeah.
and see what him or her is saying. That's for me. That's me personally. And I mean, sometimes when people, rappers or let me stick with poetry. Poetry
Yeah.
sometimes it goes off into some different areas where
Yeah.
what the hell is going on? They start talking about the moons and the stars, and for me, some of it it has to make sense for me. If I don't understand it, then I'm confused.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So what sets you apart from the average poet artist? What are you bringing to the table?
I'm bringing some crazy fire, crazy passion, and my delivery.